Thanks a lot for your interest in Applied Education's Payroll Administration course. I'm Brett Thornett, both a presenter of the course and also one of the course developers. In terms of what you'd expect by coming along on the course, first thing is what happens when a new employee comes on board. So we'll look at all the forms that you would typically hand out, like a tax file number declaration form, withholding declaration form, super choice forms, fair work information statements, and your new employee forms. And the reason we go through that is you find in payroll, if you set up everything correctly in the beginning, it's usually plain sailing for you. So setup with payroll is one of the keys. Once we've been through new employees, we'll then have a look at minimum wages and conditions of employment. So minimum wage, we'll look at the federal minimum wage, but also awards, and we'll also have a look at agreements. We'll also have a look at the 10 minimum employment conditions that must be offered to all of your staff under the Fair Work Act. Once we've been through that and we've worked out how much your employees are paid, the next step is to run through Pay Go Withholding that you must subtract from somebody's pay. A lot of this is done automatically by your software programs, but there are certain circumstances where you will need to do manual calculations and override what's calculated from your software. We'll also have a look at other deductions that you need to make from somebody's pay. It might be something like child support, trade unions, these type of things. From there, we'll have a look at allowances, we'll have a look at commissions, we'll have a look at bonuses, also how they're taxed, superannuation, and how they'll affect your year-end payment summaries. We'll then have a look at superannuation, a bit of a minefield, that area, so we'll take you through super guarantee. We'll have a look at the concept of ordinary time earnings, superannuation and contractors, and we'll also have a look at reportable employer superannuation contributions. We'll then have a look at work cover. So you've got an obligation as an employer to provide a safe working environment for your staff. Part of that obligation is to have the necessary work cover insurance. So if there's accidents or illnesses arising out of work, you've got the appropriate cover. Next, we look at leave. We'll have a look at annual leave, personal leave, which is sick and carers. We'll look at compassionate leave. We'll have a look at community service leave, public holidays. Eventually you'll be lucky to have someone to show up with all of these leave types. But the important thing is you know that what the entitlements are and you know how to put it into the software. We need to show you how to take the PAYG out and also what's payable on termination of employment. Next, we'll have a look at record keeping requirements under the Fair Work Act. From there, year-end procedures. So we'll show you how to prepare your payment summaries. There's quite a good checklist in the book to assist you to make sure that it's accurate and making sure you adhere to the ATO time frame. There's two payment summaries we go through, the individual one, but there's also a separate payment summary for employment termination payments that we'll run through. And as we'll go through that area there, we'll talk about things like redundancy, approved early retirement scheme, and other types of lump sums. From there, we'll have a look at payroll tax, which is state-based tax, so we'll look at the rates and thresholds in each state. And finally, what we do is we have a look at the PAYG section of your activity type statements. So all in all, it's a very comprehensive course, and hopefully at some point in the future, I'll see you at one of our courses.